What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to be covering the brand new update that's coming in the next couple of days here. There's a lot of stuff to be happy about, so let's jump right into it. So first, we have the brand new big content drop, and that's going to be the Grim Forest. This usually happens around December, basically for Plarium. They get everything going for the big new content drop in December, and then they're off for the holidays for the last 2 weeks of December. So we did cover the Grim Forest, our first playthrough, in a previous video, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll provide a link to that in the description. But yeah, make sure you guys check it out. It looks absolutely amazing. It's a very different, refreshing kind of gameplay experience that's really could be a standalone game in itself. That's kind of how intense it is. Obviously, that's a good and bad thing. Plarium, maybe a couple years ago forgot that this game was a mobile game, and yeah, it's just insane amounts of content. But hey, it's a good thing to have a very active game developer that's constantly pushing out content. So I'm not going to cover that in its entirety in this video, but we're going to cover some of the other things that are coming in this next patch. So first, the brand new mythical champion that's going to be the end game reward from completing the Grim Forest content, and that's going to be Anaxia. She is going to be in the game in the next upcoming update here. She looks pretty cool, actually. The render here is actually very nice. Nicely detailed and all that. We did break down her kit a little bit in a previous video. I was very underwhelmed by this and actually a little bit discouraged since she is the kind of next champion that you can kind of get for free from progression. She's not super impressive in my opinion, and she definitely requires some kind of buff or work, but we'll see. I haven't play tested her, so maybe I'm missing something, but we'll see. Anyways, if you guys want to check out her kit analysis, make sure you guys check out the video. I'll provide the link in the description below as well. She is part of the Lizardmen, which would definitely help. She is DPS as well, and they sorely need a DPS champion. After that, we do have the brand new rebalance champions. They will be in the game with the next update, and that is going to be Sir Nick and Lady Noelle. They do not Lady Noelle actually, but Lady Noelle actually benefits from the update to Sir Nicholas. Sir Nick gets a million times better. Just reading his kit, it's a million times better, but it's going to be synergistic with Lady Noelle. But even without Lady Noelle, he does get a bit of a buff across the board here, and it's very, very nice. Like, he does get a passive as well, just kind of added out of nowhere. Previously, he had no passive, so now he gets a passive. And of course, he's a void legendary, so that's really nice. So if you actually have him or pulled him in the past, you guys are no longer sad. So congratulations on your reworked Santa Claus. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? He's Santa Claus. He's kind of like the mascot for Raid Christmas. You always see him in those ads. So why not just make him a little bit relevant? Right, and then the second champion that got rebalanced was Glacea, and she's going to be ready to go in this next patch update. She gets a lot better as well. Previously, her kit was so outdated, almost epic level, and her passive was just really bad. Now her passive is actually significantly better, and this A3 is significantly better as well. So she can actually CC, turn meter fill, and then actually provide some support with her passive. Yeah, these are great reworks to champions that were averaged slash below average slash poor. So great reworks. They will be definitely very good. I mean, good on Plarium to actually give some relevant buffs. Like Narma was really good recently. Bellatar actually got buffed really well as well. Glacea, Cernek, great. These are great. We need more of these good relevant buffs for the future as well. We also got the brand new relics that will be coming from the Grim Forest relic materials. So we can check that out here, collection, and I think they have, actually, no, sorry, relic index. There it is, Grim Forest, the icons here. We got the brand new relics that are going to be in the game. Again, from the playthrough, it seemed like we were getting them relatively okay. Like, I got some mythical relics just by exploring the map. So it wasn't seemingly that bad, but obviously you have to collect the material and go through the levels and all that stuff. But it didn't seem so bad. So we'll see how it goes. I still hate the the craft rates on them and all that stuff, and we still gotta beat RNG for that, unfortunately. But it is what it is. There they are. They're in the game with the next update. We also have the Mercury set in the game as well, and that's going to come from the Grim Forest chest, also the vendor and all that. You can get the gear chest, vendor chest here. And then, of course, the various chests along the paths in the Grim Forest, you'll be picking up some gear as well. So that is going to be in the game. Now, the best part is at the very end, the miscellaneous stuff that they added. It's actually quite amazing here. So first of all, they added 400 new slots to the accessories and the artifacts. So the accessories and artifacts gets a flat 2,000 pieces now. This is actually insane. I think I was not expecting 400 slots of each. That's very significant. Um, honestly, it's great to have it, but we're gonna run into the same problem again very, very soon. They really need to implement some kind of long-term fix for this because they're just going to keep adding gear sets, right? They're just going to keep adding gear sets. We're going to get a new gear set coming with this new content. Um, and I would say, within 6 months, this 2000, it's just going to seem, we're going to be back at square one. And then we're going to be asking for more artifact space. And then what? Next update is going to be 2,500. Like, you know what I mean? So, and obviously all this extra space here for the artifacts and the accessories, they're going to create some lag on your account as well. So there's probably going to be a limit to how much they can probably give us unless they do some infrastructure upgrades on their end. They've always told us that it's because of infrastructure that they don't have enough capacity to give us space, which kind of makes sense, right? Same thing with champion slots. I'm pretty sure it's just a server issue. They need to think of some kind of long-term plan for this, right? I think accessories especially, because there all these 9-piece sets for these accessories. You want to keep as many pieces as you can to make builds, but you can't. There's just not enough spots. And then you have like one-off accessories, one-off sets that you just don't get very often, like Chronophage. When are they gonna bring back Chronophage? And then when are they gonna bring back like, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure. I don't envy their position. I have no idea what they should do. A common idea that I heard get batted around a little bit was, to consolidate the accessories. Consolidate the accessories instead of factions. Give them alliances, right? Talarian accessories. Let all four of these use the same damn accessories. Why not? Then you basically cut down your inventory, by 75%, right? I think that could work, but maybe they don't want to do that, right? Maybe they make that too easy for players to get the proper accessories. I don't know. I don't know, right? But that would definitely cut down on the need for accessory space. Now, artifact space is a little bit interesting because there's a lot of sets that you don't really need or don't really, don't really use outside, the first couple months of the game. You just don't use a lot of these sets anymore. So getting rid of them outright kind of makes sense now. Like for example, avenging. In my many years of playing this game, I've never used avenging. Curing, I've seen this used maybe once or twice in some very specific builds. Never ever used it myself personally. Immunity is basically a dead set at this point with Stone Skin around. Like Pharaoh's around. Fury, same thing, dead set. Accuracy, like outside of the first month or two, like these sets, you're just using them for stats and then that's it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't envy their position. I'm not 100% sure what you could do about that to fix the gear situation. But hey, we're getting extra 400 spots, so we'll be happy for the next 3 to 6 months, I'd say. Maybe 1 month. I don't know. For some people, maybe 1 month. And the last bit here is actually regarding champion filters. I think this is actually really, really good because I actually run into this situation a lot. So for example, if you go into here and go to team setups, you actually have the ability to filter now from here. This is amazing because previously trying to build this team, build like Hydra teams for people was very, very difficult because you didn't have this kind of option here. I'll move my head. But you didn't have this option here to kind of look for things. Like for example, if you're looking for, trying to build a Hydra team and you're looking for a champion with increased speed, right? Now you have the increased speed filter here and you can find all of them and then slot them into whatever your team setup is, right? So this is a really big and like it's a seemingly simple quality of life, but it's very, very awesome. It's big. I like it. There's some more flexibility here. Of course, you can check by stats, which is great. You can check by vaults, which is great. You can check by rank, which is great. And then of course the debuffs here as well, which is awesome. And then the other effects. So the filter here, huge quality of life, especially for team building. If you want to optimize certain teams, it won't take you, 3-4 times as long to look for things, basically going back and forth, like doing here and then looking here and then going back into the team setup. So it definitely saves a bunch of time. It's just, more of a convenience thing as well. So really happy to see that. Actually, what the thing that I want to see afterwards is actually a better filtered list for gear would be awesome. Maybe something to check for unrolled. I would like a scroller to check for the level of gear on my account. So for example, I want to check all my level 0 gear, all my level 4 gear, all my level 8 gear. I would love to see that. That would be awesome. It'd be a simple, it'd be just put a slider somewhere here. I think that would be the next thing for quality of life in terms of managing your gear. But yeah, like I said, for the team filter here, amazing. I really like it. Good for them for adding it. It's a nice quality of life here. And I think this was pretty frequently requested, and I think it was recently requested too. So I'm glad that they either took that feedback or followed up on that feedback from a long time ago. Anyways, that's going to be it. Not too much quality of life, but two really nice ones. We get some new slots. We get the new filter here for the team setups. But yeah, big content drop here with the Grim Forest. We got the rebalances with the Sir Nick and Glaceia, and new mythical champion added into the game. Now we are missing some news about whether we have a Titan event or we have a fusion coming up for December. I would say usually the Christmas fusion happens closer to Christmas, obviously, but in previous years they've actually had it very close to Christmas, and we should have had the Titan event happen already. So the Titan event doesn't happen this week. I don't know if it's going to happen. So that's a little bit of a surprise, to be honest, but no news coming in this big patch update. So we'll have to stay tuned for what they have in store for us. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys. Have a great start to your Monday. Have a great start to your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.